Patanjali's yam and niyam, that question that has come to me. So there are 5 yamas and 5 niyamas. The 5 yamas: Satya, Ahimsa, Asteya, Aprigraha, and Brahmacharya. There are 5 yamas. And then 5 niyamas: Shauch, Santosh, Tapas, Swadhyay, and Ishwar Pranidhan. Yamas are the control, the restraint that we have to have on ourselves. And niyamas are some set rules and the principles: Shauch, Santosh, Tapas, Swadhyay, and Ishwar Pranidhan. So these two, the first one, yama and niyama, are the base of the yoga that we practice, the Ashtanga Yoga of Patanjali. It starts from yam, niyam moves up to asan, and then pranayam. The first 4 is called Bahiranga Yoga, the external yoga, which gives you the more of the external benefit, the benefit at the physical level, at the organic level, at the pranic level. And then the next steps are Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi. So including all 8, it is called 8 stages, 8 phases, 8 limbs, 8-fold path of Patanjali. This is called Ashtanga Yoga. We also say this Raj Yoga. The first 4 is called Bahiranga Yoga. The last 4 is called Antaranga Yoga, internal yoga, which changes your inner being, has more profound, deep impact on your internal mind, on your conscious, subconscious, and unconscious state. And it brings the inner changes. That's why it is called Antaranga Yoga. So Bahiranga Yoga and Antaranga Yoga, you combine them, it is called Ashtanga Yoga, the Raj Yoga. But before you understand this yam and niyam, you must understand why Patanjali gave us the 8-fold path. What was the reason? Initially, that Patanjali's era was around 2,500 years before, 500 years BC. That was his era. That time, yoga was not practiced for health or disease management or health management or diabetes management or sleep management. That was not basically the purpose. And I believe those days we didn't have so many issues, the issues that we face at this time. So during that period, I believe was entire practice of yoga was dedicated for just one purpose and one goal. All of us know that goal, that purpose could be the self-realization. You're knowing yourself, progressing spiritually. That Patanjali talked about, that, and he gave us the 8-fold path. The purpose would be the realization, basically, So in his sutras, he has given us the why this yoga, why this Ashtanga Yoga, what is the purpose of it, and the yam niyam. Two basic stages are the pillars, the foundation. In the first sutra, Patanjali says, Ath Yoga Anushasanam. Let's start the discipline of yoga. Chale hum aaramb kare. Anushasan is a chapter or a subject that let's begin the practice of yoga. Ath Yoga Anushasanam. There are people who say that Anushasanam, and that's again a right meaning. Anushasan means subtle governance on ourself, on our body, on our thought process, on our mind, on our way, the way we talk, the way we behave, the way we act or react. Everything comes under Anushasan. So this is the first sutra of Patanjali, Ath Yoga Anushasanam. In second sutra, he has given the meaning of yoga, where he says, Yogasya chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga is cessation over the mental modifications of the mind. योगा जो है वो चित्त के वृत्तिस के ऊपर कंट्रोल निरोध करने को योग कहते हैं. So here he has given us the definition, the real definition of yoga. Controlling the mental modification of the mind is yoga. So that's the reason that he said, let's begin now the practice of yoga and let's conquer the vrittis of the mind. Before that, he must have prepared with so many other practices. Maybe the Hatha Yoga practices. We have Shat Karmas, where we have Neti, Dhoti, Basti, Kapal, Bhati, Tratak. All these to cleanse our inner being, inner system. He must have done before that. And then he started with the Ashtanga Yoga, where he talked about Yoga se Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Let's come and conquer the mind and the vrittis of the mind. And then in third sutra, he's saying that Tada Drastu Sarupe Avasthanam. When you have control over the second sutra, what he said, control over the vrittis of the mind. When you have the control over the vrittis of the mind, then you can attain your real self. The Tada Drastu Sarupe Avasthanam. You can get established in your real self, your nature, your Sarup, your soul. You can get established in that. You become one with that, in that state where you get control over the vrittis of the mind. Then the next stage comes that he shared with us in that third sutra, Tada Drastu Sarupe Avasthanam. And in the fourth sutra, he says, Vritti Sarupyam Itrita. Vritti Sarupyam means if you do not control over the vrittis, then you become friendly to your vrittis. Now, what to talk of getting realized? You become friendly to your vrittis, good or bad, positive or negative. Everything is driven by your vrittis. आज की डेट में जो हम कहते हैं programming, the programming of the mind, that you get driven by the programming that you have. And उस प्रोग्रामिंग को चेंज करना ही चित्त के वृत्तियों का निरोध है, और वहीं से रियल मीनिंग ऑफ योगा है. That is the real meaning of yoga, that we need to cess over the mental modifications of the mind. In the fifth sutra, he said, Vrittya, Panchtya, Klista, Aklista. मतलब 5 तरह के वृत्तिस होते हैं, और वो दो रूप में होते हैं, क्लिष्ट और अक्लिष्ट, पेनफुल एंड नॉन पेनफुल. There are vrittis which gives you happiness, pleasure, and there are vrittis which gives you sadness, grief, pain, suffering. So there are 2 kinds of vrittis, Vrittya, Panchtya, Klista, Aklista. 5 तरह की वृत्तिस, 2 तरीके के होते हैं, क्लिष्टा एंड अक्लिष्टा, पेनफुल एंड नॉन पेनफुल. एंड पंचत्या मीन्स 5 तरह के वृत्तिस होते हैं, जो कि प्रमाण, पहला, first one is praman, the second one is called vipriyay, third one is called vikalp, fourth is called smriti, and fifth one is called nidra. So there are 5 sources of vrittis, and even the praman vrittis are of 3 types. Praman, that direct experience. You touch it, you feel it through your sense, it goes to the head, it gets stored in the form of vrittis inside the head, inside your subconscious, unconscious mind. That is the praman. The praman. There is a direct cognition. And then there is anuman praman, that somebody says something, anuman praman. You see something in distance and you try to infer the, like there's an example that people always give us, that you see a smoke and you imagine, you think that there must be a fire, then there is a smoke, So we infer and it comes to us, and that is called anuman praman. And then there is a agam praman, based on testimony, based on journal, based on somebody's knowledge, experience. That comes to us. So that is one source of vritti, the praman. Then second one is called vipriyay, the wrong cognition, the wrong knowledge. That somebody is saying something about somebody and you believe that. You have not met that person, but still you form the opinion. So that goes inside, the wrong knowledge. It's called vipriyay. Vikalp, fancy. There's no object, still you find that there's something. There's nothing, you take it and it goes inside. That's called vikalp. It's called fancy. And then nidra and smriti. Before Patanjali, people would think more about, people would talk more about the smriti, not the vrittis. When Patanjali came, then he started talking about chitta and the vrittis, and he said the vrittis, the root cause of everything. You control over the vrittis, and then you become master, and you realize yourself. Before him, Swamiji said that in previous era, that people would talk more about the smriti where everything is stored. But then later, we started talking more about the vrittis. So this is the whole purpose that we are doing the Patanjali Yoga, the Ashtanga Yoga, to having control over the chitta vrittis, the painful and the non-painful. Both are the causes of our misery, whether it's a happy one or the sad one. And controlling over the vrittis is yoga. And it is, and then Patanjali gave us the method to control over the vrittis. And the method he gave us is the Ashtanga Yoga, Eightfold Path. And the second one he talked is the detachment, the vairagya. So practicing Ashtanga Yoga with the bhav of vairagya, detachment, non-attachment, and then you attain the higher state of Ashtanga Yoga, and which starts with yama and the niyama. Hope you understand this, it is clear to you. And yama begins with satya, truthfulness. We have to be truthful in our action, in our behavior, in our thoughts, in and out. We have to follow this yam, the control, the truthfulness. Satya, ahimsa, non-violence. Again, in and out, in your action, in your behavior. We have to try. It's very hard. It's very hard. That's why nobody talks about yamas and niyamas. We directly start with asana and the pranayam and the meditation, and we forget about the base, the foundation. This is the prime reason why, if we start with yama and niyama class, we do not have asana and the pranayams for 3 months and 6 months, and we start with the satya, ahimsa, nobody will stay. Nobody will stay, I tell you. That is the reason that we start with the asana and the pranayam, and then someday we start automatically, unknowingly, we start following all these yamas, at least starting with at least one yamas. Satya, ahimsa, asteya is non-stealing, honesty. Aparigraha is non-possessiveness, that we have a nature of, having so many things. We try to grab everything of the world in our house, so many clothes, so many utensils, so many houses, so many cars. That is the possessiveness. And aparigraha is non-possessiveness. You get freed from everything, have minimal things which you need. So you always think about what you need, and the rest of the things you disperse, give it to the people who need it. So that is the aparigraha. And brahmacharya is celibacy. That is the English meaning. Brahmacharya means Brahma, and charya means acharan. So Brahma acharan, the righteous behavior, your duty. And duty here is that fulfilling your 4 purusharth. When we come to this planet, we are given 4 actions to be performed: arth, kam, dharma, and moksha. So arth is your sustenance, that what all you do, that is needed. And then kam is fulfilling your desire, the vasana. And then the dharma is the righteous action, and moksha is the salvation. So we have to have a coordination, samanvaya of all 4 things, artha, kama, dharma, and moksha, to attain the happiness and the growth in our life, the spiritual growth. So that is the meaning of brahmacharya, the Brahma acharan, which leads towards the moksha. Satya, ahimsa, asteya, aparigraha, brahmacharya. These are the 5 yamas. And then 5 niyamas are short: the cleanliness, santosh is contentment, tapas is austerity, swadhyaya is self-study, and Ishwar Pranidhan is surrendering to the God, having faith in God. Shauch is the cleanliness. Again, not only having bath or brushing the teeth, the internal cleansing also. cleansing of your inner organs, cleansing of your mind. So short is mandatory, important to grow for the higher practices of your Ashtanga Yoga. If you do not have a cleansed mind, you do not have a pure body, if you do not have a prepared body, it will not allow you to progress in the practice. So the short is very, very important. The santosh, the contentment, whatever you have, be happy in that. तपस्या, the austerity, अभी तो बहुत मुश्किल है आज के वर्ल्ड में. Nobody wants to do anything. We are driven by the programming of our mind, which has got completely corrupted, and it's very hard even to wake up early and practice. 99% of people will wake up late, and once they wake up late, the entire body system gets wrecked, and it affects the body. Multiple issues people face, and here comes the role of tapasya, the austerity. We need little tap every day to get better and better. Without tapasya, you cannot progress in your life. That tapasya is needed. And then the swadhyaya, the self-study and study of the literatures also, the spiritual literature, the text which keeps you on track, which motivates you, which excites you, gives you the right knowledge, right information, and the self-study. You need to introspect every day, 10 minutes at night, 5 minutes at night, see what all you did and try to improvise, try to get better on that. And Ishwar Pranidhar. Don't feel that I am the doer. That doership should go. We are just an instrument, just having faith in the God, surrendering to the wills of the God, and then becoming an instrument and progress and flow in life without getting disturbed by anything which is happening around us. The moment we surrender, we have less stress. The moment we are attached to I-ness, the ego, then it comes to us. A small little stress will hurt us badly. When we surrender to the God, once we dedicate everything to Him, so whether it's a suffering or pain or happiness or pleasure, everything is His will, then you feel lighter, you feel less stressed, and you enjoy your life. You have a harmony, happiness, peace, and health in your life. That's all. That is the yam and niyam of Patanjali. Thank you so much for your participation. Hari Om Tat Sat.